this is Capri, your Great Life Guru. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel. This episode is about sprouting. Sprouts are a great way to incorporate nutritionally dense food into your diet every single day. I've been sprouting for years, and the reason why I do it is because they're delicious. It is easy to do. There's a lot of variety of textures and flavors and colors I can easily incorporate into my salads and into my sandwiches. And it doesn't take a lot of time out of my daily routine to reap the benefits. Now, what are the benefits of sprouting? Well, when you research the benefits of sprouting, you're going to find tons of information out there. But in a nutshell, sprouts have the highest concentration of phytonutrients per calorie than any food in the world. Phytonutrients are essential and they play a key role in the prevention and slowing down of many types of common diseases like cancer, like heart disease, and like diabetes, just to name a few. I've included a few links under this video so that you can research for yourself and look at these benefits to see if that's something you want to incorporate into your lives for yourself and your family. It is super easy to do, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. The equipment that you need is minimal. You're going to need jars like this. Now, this is a ½ liter size. For some of our American friends, I think this is a pint. And this is a canning jar. It is something that people use for making jams or preserving vegetables. But the tops of them consist of two parts. There's a ring and an insert. Now, these are readily available at home centers. You can buy them by the dozen. You can also find them in grocery stores quite often in the fall when people start preserving and canning. And they are very useful around the house. So even if you have a dozen of them, you can cycle them in the dishwasher, make your sprouts in small batches, and then start a new one. So very, very useful. I also like this size because when I make my sprouts, I like to have a variety of them available to me at all times. Again, I appreciate the different colors, the different textures, and the different flavors of each of the varieties that I can incorporate into my cooking. And when I make them in small batches like this, I can have that variety instead of ending up with one big batch of one type. In addition, small batches like this, I know I will go through and consume within a 3 or 4 day period. You want them fresh. Sprouts are a little bit like house guests. You love them at first, but after 3 or 4 days, you really don't want them around anymore. The second thing you need is something like this. Now, some of you who have naughty pets or naughty kids know exactly what this is. This is a replacement screen for patio doors and window screens that sometimes get shredded. This too is readily available at your home center, and they come in rolls like this. There's also a metal variety, but you want to stay away from there because you're going to be using it with water every day, and you don't want something that can be corrosive. So get this fiberglass one. It's really easy to work with. And they come in rolls, and this will last you a long time and probably enough to share the idea with your friends so that they can start sprouting too. I'm going to start step by step and show you how easy it is and what you need to do. You start by taking a jar and taking out the insert to use as a template to cut out your screen. And what you're going to get is a little piece like this, the same size as your insert that you're going to replace on top of your jar. And once you put the ring back on, it will be a little colander for when you rinse out your seeds. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. To start a batch of seeds, I'm going to show you with green mung beans. All you need to do is put a couple of tablespoons of seeds into your jar like this. Replace the top with a mesh that you've just cut out, and then put the ring back on. Now, to start out, what you want to do is put this under water and rinse it a few times and swirl it around and drain it, but you need to let these soak. Fill it up with water again and let them soak for about 6 to 8 hours. Some variety of seeds, depending on the density and the size of them, will require a little bit more time or less time. But generally, you need to soak them for about 6 to 8 hours. At the end of that time, all you need to do is drain it out. And you want to shake them out like this a little bit and spread them out so that they don't clump up. And put it on a sunny spot on your kitchen counter. Some varieties of sprouts, like this one actually, doesn't like a lot of light. Most of them do, and most of them will do just fine on a sunny spot on your counter. But this mung bean, the green bean, does not like light. So in this case, put it in a darker corner of your kitchen, maybe behind your food processor or a big cookie jar or something like this. So store it this way. What you need to do every day then is, with the mesh on top, you should put it under your faucet, run water into it, swirl it around and drain it out. You need to do that twice a day, probably first thing in the morning and when you come home from work or when you're making dinner or before you go to bed. But as long as you do it twice a day, you'll keep the water fresh, and then you'll shake it out again and store it. And within days, you're going to have beautiful sprouts that'll come up. Now, when you find that your sprouts have reached the right size, you also don't want them too big. And you can experiment with it. You know, some people like their sprouts a little bit more mature. Some people like them a little bit more tender. But once you've determined that a sprout is a good size for you, all you need to do then is take the mesh back out and put the top back on. And put it in the fridge. This is the way you store them. This is the way you use them. And off you go. You can start making another batch then. Works very, very well. Sprouts are great because you can incorporate freshness into your cooking. It is available 365 days a year, and they're available right from your own kitchen. I do hope you give it a try. I do it because they're delicious. They're easy. They're nutritious. They add texture and crunch and excitement to my salads and my sandwiches, and they're beautiful to look at on my counter. I love the way they look, and you know, they all look at the sunshine every day. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I also welcome your comments or suggestions for future episodes of Great Life Guru. And I hope you start sprouting and start reaping some of the benefits. This is Capri, your Great Life Guru. Thanks for spending the time with me, and I hope to see you again soon.